Now, dark energy, I'm not an expert physicist, but the thing your question raises is that, together with your question, is how little we actually know. What is dark energy, what's driving it, and so on. And what I discover in talking to people, I was at CERN recently and I asked somebody what it was and they didn't know. I think what it points up is a very important thing. And it's a very big topic actually, but it helps me illustrate it very well. We are bamboozled into thinking that science explains. You see, somebody comes along, Isaac Newton, and he comes with the law of gravitation. There you are, that explains it. It doesn't. Newton knew that. The law of gravity describes what happens when massive bodies. Nobody knows, ladies and gentlemen, what gravity is. I wish they'd taught me that at school. Because what we've come to think of as scientific explanation is not explanation. It gives a partial description. And Wittgenstein, no less, said this, that the great deception of modernism is that the laws of nature are explanations when they're not. Now that limits the effect of science, but I find that many people do not realize it. Richard Feynman, one of the most distinguished physicists in North America, once said, "Don't let anybody fool you. Nobody knows what energy is." And that's very important. I was speaking to about 500 physicists in our atomic weapons research establishment, and a physicist came up to me and he said, "Professor Lennox, that was very interesting, but you know, I detect you're a Christian." He was really sharp. And he said, "But you see, you as a Christian, you're obliged to believe that Jesus was a man and God at the same time, isn't that right?" I said, "That's right." He said, "Can you explain that to me?" Well, I said, "Can I ask you a question or two first before I try to?" He said, "Sure." I said, "Tell me, what is energy?" Actually, what I first said to him was more difficult. I said, "What is consciousness?" He said, "I don't know." So I said, "I'll do something easier. What is energy?" He said, "Well, we can measure it, we can use it." I said, "That wasn't the question. You know it wasn't. What is it?" He said, "I don't know." Oh, I said, "That's very interesting. Do you believe in energy and consciousness?" He said, "Yeah, I do." "And you don't know what they are? Should I write you off as a physicist?" He said, "Please don't." I said, "You are prepared to write me off. Because the nature of God, is infinitely more complex than the nature of energy, that we don't know what it is." But I said, "There's something else. Why do you believe in consciousness and energy when you don't know what they are?" And I had to help him a bit, but I'm very kind, you see. So I said, "You believe in them because of their explanatory power conceptually." He said, "That's right." And I said, "That is exactly why I believe that Jesus is both God and human, because those are the only terms that make sense of the evidence as I see it." I tell you that story, ladies and gentlemen, because you never should be ashamed of saying, "I don't know." There's so much we don't know. And dark energy helps me to